Hi everybody, Mature Simmer here. I'm taking a peek here. This is another candidate for something to use for the career add-on with the flight simulator. So a little more specific than a VA. So you can see, this has got some basic stuff. Run your company, stock and third-party aircraft. And it's Aviatife? I don't know. Aviatife, do whatever you'd like. So I've registered already. So I'm kind of starting this one in the same airport that I was at with FS, no, I wasn't there in FS Economy, with Neofly, sorry. So looks like there's some monies here. It looks like Avia tokens is a special currency in the Aviatife world. You earn it by flying. You get one Avia token for 1 flight minute and completing daily weekly challenges. You can then exchange the tokens for special prizes and skills. To exchange the tokens, to go to the company skill tree and company Avia token shop tabs. Has a skill tree, so learn that. And then these are premium currency on Aviatife. They are used to pay for some AI powered features. So you can use this for free. A premium account, not super inexpensive. Looks like they just have 1 month at full euro price of basically 10 euros. And then you can buy these Air AI points for 100 of them for $4.99. And it looks like here, initially you get 50 points for free. And one message costs 1 Air AI point. So if I need to message people or something, maybe I can't do that without paying something. Not necessarily looking to do that. Alright, so there's a client that you download. And there you can see, welcome to the aviatife.com game client. So I have to provide a token. So you grab your token, you paste it in, and then it lets you connect. So you can see a connection with the game service has been established. So ground services, premium account membership needed, so we'll turn that off because we don't have that. And then it looks like Copilot and passengers, chat messages, and then warnings about non-trafficked flight at this moment. And you pick the server and it says you probably want the first one. The other two are used for closed or local testing. If we go back to the dashboard, which you can get to by clicking on the logo, you can see there's new payment methods for the premium account. Again, nothing we're interested in. And then it looks like, so it's telling us 4 hours from now. So there's daily challenges. So perform a flight in an aircraft from the light category. Perform a flight minimum of 50 nautical miles in an aircraft from the basic or light aircraft category. You can check aircraft category in the fleet, aircraft catalog tab, and then we get 50 of those tokens. We can transport 20 passengers, and it can be achieved with multiple flights, or transport 1,700 pounds of cargo, which again can be achieved with multiple flights. So we've got challenges, then we've got first steps. Now, I didn't do anything, so when I got pointed to this and signed in, I clicked around on the menus and so forth. Definitely a very polished and pretty decent looking view. I think, I'm trying to remember, I think it was VIPs, yes. So you have to use premium, so this is the VIP jobs. We also won't be able to cut custom jobs, so we can't do custom jobs, we can't do any of this, we can't do VIPs. But I think other than that, we can do anything. So I'm not sure why it says completed. So, and then finish these 3 tasks. I see, to get 3 premium account days for free. I hope we get to choose if we want to use them right away. But basically, finish 5 flights, rent an aircraft, make $10,000 in profit. All right, so we have basic light, medium, large, and heavy planes. You can see there's folks leading in certain categories. They said the league has recently changed its format from a monthly schedule to a daily one. Each day a winner is selected and awarded 1,000 Avia tokens Till the end of August, winners get 1 day of premium account and 5 Air AI points. Huh, interesting. So this seems to be like it's relatively new. And then yesterday's awards. This person earned $36 million yesterday? Or is it just in the past? Okay, quick jobs at the current airport. Alright, so given that this was kind of my thing, complete a quick job, grab an aircraft, no strings attached, get the job done hassle-free. It's quick, it's simple, just your skills in action. Go to the jobs, quick jobs, and fulfill one of the available jobs. So there's a logbook. Alright, I didn't fly anything. I'm just making sure I didn't somehow forget something. Just seems like it's a bit off. But anyway, here are the quick jobs. I can view more if I wanted, but it looks like 250 nautical miles to 315, 319, and you can see there's a diamond aircraft, 2 jobs with Beechcraft Bonanzas. Alright, it looks like it's trying to tell me things. Okay, Culpeper Regional Landings Condominium, Sault Ste. Marie, Canada. Alright, well this one gives us the most monies. I don't know what popularity means, like how popular the job is for people to grab. And then I assume this is the reputation change I'll get. Alright, this is a money penalty for not completing the job on time, deadline, or aircraft crash. Shows what it weighs, how much space, 53 bags, and what the aircraft is. And then flying now. Doesn't look like anybody's flying right now. Alright, so we got 53 bags of wheat, 25 bags of coal, or 666 packages of phone display. People being addicted to their phones is a bit evil, so maybe that number is appropriate. I'm not sure. But given that this pays the most, and I'm familiar with this plane, I think I've flown this plane before, but I think we can get there relatively quickly, even though it's 250 nautical miles. So I'm going to take this. Alright, so now we're on accepted jobs and we have things. Obviously this looks the same. Departure is what? Because we know we're departing from here, so maybe that is like when I do leave. So I can fly, assign, or cancel. So we're going to go ahead and fly. Alright, there we go. Flight number 1. So I wonder if it counts that. That's pretty cool. Alright, from Willoughby Lost Nation Municipal Airport to Culpeper Regional. Pilot, just like most of these, always weighs 170 pounds. So fuel at this airport is 43 cents a pound. Please remember that you don't need to refuel aircraft for quick jobs. They have enough fuel for the whole trip. And we have wheat. You cannot remove cargo passengers. It's a quick job. So my total weight is that. So let me, I assume I need to get the plane spawned. So let me get a Diamond DA-62 over here at Willoughby. Alright, and I am flying to, I don't know where that is, so let me figure that out. Alright, so there's no passengers waiting. Theoretically no cargo, because I guess it's on the plane. Okay, flight plan optional. So let's see. It's integrated with SimBrief. It's entirely optional. You can plan your flight from Microsoft Flight Simulator. To plan a flight via SimBrief, you need an account on Navigraph. So I guess it doesn't use the free versions. Okay, so pre-flight validation. So it looks like we need to have all this set. Obviously we don't have the right airport, you know, we don't have a plane put in and so forth. Right, it looks like I must fly with crash detection in this. Again, I'm willing to try it. So it generated it right in here. That's interesting. Don't quite understand, but let me go look at my own SimBrief. I mean, it did pop it up, but if I want to modify it, I'm wondering, yeah, so it is here. But let me go look and see. Right, I put in the wrong aircraft type. So that's certainly a problem. All right, so the max altitude is 20,000. We're headed, kind of to the east, so we should be at an odd altitude. So, I'm going to go say 15,000. That'll allow me to go quick enough, but not anything crazy. So I'm actually going to import into my Navigraph. Doesn't appear that I can pull anything in here, so this just kind of gets a start. And it does say it's optional, so I suppose my confusion, because it's saying the current payload, but then I see that, I guess this must be other things waiting. So I have no staff. Please select staff you want to take this flight. Co-pilots are needed for aircraft with more than 12 passengers. For smaller aircraft, a co-pilot will occupy one passenger seat. Flight attendants are needed for aircraft with more than 24, and your staff will be paid an additional 50% for every overtime hour they work. I don't know that I've seen overtime on anything. So I'm going to spawn into Microsoft Flight Simulator. Well, that is an interesting livery. I don't know that I know what I picked, but that's something. Doesn't matter. We'll go with it. We're in the plane normally. So now let's go back to Aviatife. I don't know how to say this. You guys tell me how you want to say it. Good news is there's a lot of green, but again, I need to change the crash detection. Nerves, I tell you. All right. So now it passed, and now there's a start tracking. Be sure you are in the aircraft's cockpit. Clicked Ready to Fly in Microsoft before clicking the Start Tracking. Otherwise, cargo and fuel won't update on the simulator side. All right. So it's telling me again that I've got fuel and so forth. But let's see. So we're going to start tracking because I'm ready to fly. All right, so 249.8, but again, we've got some things. All right, and then we have an after landing checklist. I see no review has been generated for this flight. Activate premium account to get reviews from your customers. Like, I'm not clicking away and going into the flight simulator. It's like something is doing it. So we have the cargo, and then we have the departure destination. Obviously, I guess time is moving in the sim. All right. So I'm here. Let me just take a quick look at like weight and balance. So in theory, we should have like 413, which we do. 416. I'm going to assume it did whatever it needed for the wheat and all that I'm not doing anything with this. So I just need to get the aircraft ready to go. Alright, so we've got like 15 waypoints. There was a lot of en route entry to make. Because I think part of what was interesting about this thing was that it does track a lot more things than some of the other career mods. Alright, I'm guessing it's tracking. I mean, it's telling me resume flight tracking, so I'm a little... So I think everything worked, but we're going to go ahead and give it a shot, and we'll see how this works. And then I'm going to release the parking brake, and I guess I need to speed things up a bit and try to get moving. So I just have to be careful, because I do have crash detection on. So if I like hit a bump really hard, like that's going to be a bad thing. So, alright. So we're going to go here. That's just taking us over, so we definitely don't want to do anything weird there. So one thing I don't like with the Garmin is there really isn't a ground speed indicator. I don't know if it's gonna check any of that or if it cares. I mean, it is kind of showing me moving around on a map with this really cartoony looking plane, which is fine. But it's interesting because, like, on the after landing checklist, I don't know if you noticed, like, it says that it's, yes, it's already finished and it is tracked. Alright. So I'm just going to line myself up here. Put the parking brake on. Alright, now we can turn the taxi lights off, put the landing lights on. We've got our position lights, we've got everything set. You know, I just have to remember that I have to push things over there, which is a little goofy in my mind, but it is what it is. Alright, so let's get going. Well, I'm not all the way up. I'm like, why am I going so slow? I thought the engine jumped up right away, but I looked over at the settings and I'm like, no, it's not really there or maxed out. So let's see. Pull back. Come on. Alright, well, we're definitely not rising very quickly. I know I need to head kind of back that way because it's basically behind me. That's why I would have really taken off the other way normally, but and the wind wasn't strong enough. I probably could have done that. So we're gonna see now. We'll put the gear up. Why is it so? I see, it's just saying check gear because it's not at that position yet. So I mean, the nice thing is versus like the Cessna that we've been flying in on air, this is quicker. So if you've been following, what I'm likely going to do, honestly, is you're going to see a lot of videos about these career series pop out, maybe even at once on the same day, because I'm trying to kind of stay ahead of Beyond ATC. So yesterday they released a video, I think it was yesterday, if not it was the day before. Alright, let me slow down because now we're nearing the yellow line. It was, if not it was the day before when they basically said, alright, here's what you're going to expect, because they had agreed to do early access. And I give them kudos and credit. They're basically trying to subvert the typical thing that likely is going to happen, because if we've seen anything from gamers at any point in time, they're never happy. They're always like, oh, I wanted this, oh, I wanted that, you didn't do this, you didn't do that. Right. Well, in any event, as I said, you don't need to see me fly. I'm going to get myself to CJR, and we'll return there, because what we're really trying to see is what Aviatife is doing. Alright, I'm here at the airport. So you can see here we passed. It's claiming we're not on a parking space. While I'm not perfect, I mean, it never turned, accurate. So again, a little airport like this, maybe it just doesn't realize it. But at this point, I should be able to finish the flight. So here's our tracking. So we'll finish the flight. And there we go. Smoothest landing. So I'm doing pretty well with some of these. I don't know that I'm going to get any better. But at this point now, we finished, those flights. I guess there's other quick flights available, but I'll worry about that in a bit. For now, that's our first flight, and then we'll get into things a little bit more when I get back, so I'll see you in a bit. Okay, so what I'm trying to look at here is just trying to understand now that I've finished a flight, like what I get to understand. All right, so I don't have any aircraft, and we can see, okay, Simmer Airline is an airline from Willoughby, United States, currently operating 0 aircraft, $2,578 in the bank, and is currently ranked 598 out of 2,216 airlines. So I guess that tells us how many we have, and maybe how many didn't do much of anything. That's crazy that I'm in essence almost in the top quarter already. All right, a detailed view of your airline's popularity. So, all right, reputation. So that doesn't help me. Purchase advertising, check and upgrade your pilot's skills. Okay, so I see. So we've got these Avia tokens, which are these, I guess, right? Yes. All right, so the cheapest thing we can do is freelancer. Other airlines can offer you a contract, or this skill gives you access to more 20% jobs from small airports, those with dark, light red, and yellow badges. And you can do illegal jobs. You can rent buildings. 20% jobs from international airports. VIP passenger jobs. Okay, it says you cannot load anything else on the plane. I'm assuming they mean on the plane. And then hazardous jobs. Hazardous jobs need careful landings, otherwise you may blow your aircraft up. Wow. All right. And then we've got unit settings, which I think I had looked at. Yeah, so we've got all the US ones that I'd expect. Reset, change. All right, income statement. So let's see. All right, so we don't have airport fees in this. So the landing fee is $10. And then it explains that. So I guess what I'm trying to figure out is, how do I know what aircraft this is? And the reason I'm asking is one of the challenges is if I guess we lost. Okay, so now we've got new things. So let's see. So land at a small airport without hard surface runways and lights. Okay, they have a dark red badge. That'll give me 100. And if I visit 3 countries, goodness, I could get some tokens and travel 50 nautical miles in a single flight. That's certainly easy enough. All right, I don't have any financing deals. I understand that. Air ambulance, interesting. So let's see. These are special missions where you need a precisely prepared aircraft to complete them. Your plane must be of type air ambulance. You can, so I'm assuming I'd need a plane. It's a landing rate, the penalty for landing harder than 200 if you're on time and general satisfaction. If you get a score below 50%, the patient will be pronounced dead. Wow, you cannot use these aircraft for any jobs other than the air ambulance type. Okay, so clearly can't do that. All right, and it talks about the airports. Colors of airports aren't random. Every color has its own meaning. Okay, so this blue, it's one of the biggest airports, top 10% country-wise. I'd say dark green, an airport with ILS lights and a hard runway, and then light green, which is like this. So that's an airport with lights and hard runway, so no ILS. And then yellow, so basically really green, kind of green, yellow, an airport with hard surface runway but no lights. And then light red or pinkish, I suppose, an airport with lights and a soft runway surface. And then dark red is an airport with no lights nor hard surface runways. Okay, so we have cargo jobs, passenger jobs, air, quick jobs, okay, that don't need owned aircraft, and a list of accepted jobs. So I'm assuming, oh no, okay, so that's like pending jobs on air. We know we can't do custom. regular routes that your airline offers, so we don't have any of those. We can transport VIP passengers. That's right, we can't do that. We can do black market, but I think like that. So you're looking to sell some illegal stuff, huh? Well, we can help you out with that. Just remember, it's not just about getting it from point A to point B. You actually have to make the stuff too. Interesting. First step is to open a factory, go to business then buildings, and start producing your chosen illegal substance. Once you've got that taken care of, you'll need to transport it to one of the airports listed here. But be careful, there's a risk meter involved. The base risk value is based on the size of the airports you're departing and arriving from, and you'll see it listed in the remarks section of the list. Oh, I see base risk 4%, 6%, 5%. Okay. This one's 8%. Wow. And it's probably okay because it's green, green. The risk meter can go up for every minute you're flying above 1,000 feet above the terrain, and there's no way to lower it once it's up. So keep that in mind before you start your operation. Hey, just a heads up, if you get caught, it's going to cost you big time, like 4 times the money reward. Oh, wow. Okay. So there's a penalty there, 3,600. And they'll shut your every illegal laboratory. Please remember that income from these missions is shared between corporation members. All right. See, so I think with all of these, I need a plane. I think really my only option for a while is that other thing. So courier. First of all, you need at least 2 sorting facilities. Let's say you have rented sorting facilities at EPKT and EPWA. At UTC Midnight, you'll get courier packages to collect for every sorting facility connection. In our example, we have only 2 sorting facilities, so you get packages for EPKT to EPWA and EPWA to EPKT, so both ways. Okay, the number of packages depends on airport's rating. You'll get more packages for bigger airports. Collecting courier packages is optional. You can pick some and leave others. You won't pay any penalty. Unless you collect some and don't finish the job, you'll get penalized then for those collected. You can group packages into one job. The deadline for group packages is taken from the oldest package. You cannot ungroup packages, so act wisely. Goodness. So the more sorting facilities, the more routes. Let's say we added EPGD. So yeah, then you're going to have 6 routes. So let's say I think a permutation calculation. Wow. Okay. So that's unique. Supply products. What is that? Oh, okay. That's really cute. Bread, cake, steak, ice cream, eggs. I don't know. I don't know what that is. It looks like hearts. Does it tell me what it is? No. All right. Supply missions are comparable to black market missions, but they don't require the production of illegal substances or flying below 1,000 feet. Instead, you only need to produce the product and deliver it to your client. Your final payment depends on the quality of the product you provide. For instance, if you offer an item with 80% quality, you'll receive 80% of the payment. So I see. So we've got eggs, wine, beef. Okay, that's poultry, so that's a chicken. It does not look like a chicken, even now that I know it's a chicken. All right, coffee, supply, soap, olive oil, towels, soap. I'm just looking, grapes. I think that's all the types. And that again is from here. Cool. All right, business, buildings, rent a building. Miscellaneous products catalog. Oh, okay. All right, a good amount, but again, some of the stuff's the illegal stuff, like the Luminods, and U4NX, and a few things there. So sellable at the shop, sellable on board. So things, different things can, and then weight needed per unit. All right, current corporation. You are not part of a corporation. Corporations are for airlines that want a long-term relationship with other airlines. Airlines united in a corporation can transport products produced by other airlines. So can I not just join someone else? I'm not sure. Okay, own commodities. We don't have that. We know we don't have warehouse. All right, rented buildings. You can find a complete list of buildings your airline rents. I see. Please be aware that buildings from the farm, production, and shops are a special kind. You can rent buildings from only one industry, and these buildings need strict cooperation from other players, with other players. Please read the crash course to learn more. Goodness. I see. So farm and production, shops, private buildings. I see. Landing is cheaper. Alright, well this is interesting because here you go. The market feature is one of the most complicated pieces of Aviatife. We first need to clarify needs direct cooperation. To run your production lines, you need products from other users. So if you rent a chicken farm, you cannot rent a slaughterhouse, fertilizer factory, or any other building from an industry other than agriculture. Please be aware that this feature is in its early stages. Some adjustments are expected. Some airports have unused industries. Buildings for those industries will be implemented later. Please remember some farm buildings need a specific temperature range, so don't cultivate grapes in Siberia. If the temperature is lower or higher, crops quality will be lowered, and that's important because the final product's quality depends on the ingredients quality, and lower quality final product means lower sale price in the shop. After you rent your first building, you can start your production. You need to employ your first employee. From there, you can hire employees. So this does sound, I see. So agriculture industry. So like basically, it seems like yes, you could do. I think you could do everything in agriculture. But I see then if you're doing chemical or food processing, which are the other types. All right. So basically, like if you go into the illegal. Well, I guess you can do other stuff because it, like chemical, because illegal, the laboratory will produce the 3 drugs. So it's a really expensive factory too, 15,000. All right. So what it looks like is you have to do something to unlock. Produces 1, you get a starter pack. See, like why can't I rent? Oh, I see. Because I don't have, I see, gives you access to renting buildings. So I can't do that until 2000. Cool. All right. That makes sense. All right. So there's a list of contract offers you've received. But again, there's that skill, which means someone would need to do things. Like I said, my problem is, like it looks like, I see purchase a new aircraft. All right. Well. They're as expensive as you'd expect. I see buy rent. Okay. And so I guess this is where I can see. So if I go to the DA62, because what I was looking at. Okay, so that was a medium. Because I had that ability that I could have done something with a small. But let's see. If I buy rent. All right, thank you for contacting our company. I'm sure that our future cooperation will be profitable for both sides. You mentioned that you want to buy Diamond aircraft. That's an excellent option. My favorite airplane, really. We can offer you 3 ways. So, I'm thinking of buying a shiny new one. I'm thinking about buying used. I'm short on budget. I just want to rent it. So, let's see. All right, so $3.70 an hour, but then we have this renting bond. So it's very similar. Oh, look. Well, oh, that's the one I brought here. So, if I look at the profile, will it show like, so next 100-hour inspection is 100 hours. Wow, the engine condition was pretty bad. I see, 81 and 77. But what I'm wondering, like, can some of these be owned by people? Or are they all just system owned? What if I'm willing to buy a used one? Alright, so they're still pretty pricey. Used aircraft are good too. Who needs a new plane when you can you can fly in totally airworthy aircraft? Here's a list of used aircraft. Choose one and we'll discuss payment. We do not offer instant delivery, so it will stay at its current airport. So let's see if we do that. So the payment, you can purchase the aircraft by credit card. The direct purchase will deduct the full price from your bank. If you are not ready to pay it at once, we are cooperating with a company that can finance your purchase. I quickly checked your credit capacity. Unfortunately, I cannot offer you financing. You need at least 30% of the final price to be eligible. And of course, we are deducting all your current financing, so your current credit capacity is 25. So it's literally what I have. I'll pay with my gold credit card. What is that? So I'm not eligible. Oh, I see, not enough money. So I think that would just be some of my options. Alright, I changed my mind. Let's see, so what does a 172 look like? Holy moly! $399. They're more expensive here. With a G1000, they're the same. So let's see. What if I want to rent it? Alright, 167. Well, I can potentially do it. I've got the bond, and then I have the rental per hour. Alright, you'll always need to buy insurance for your flight. So let's see, we offer in good shape. You need to pay a renting bond. We will return it to you after a renting deal comes to an end. You cannot modify leased aircraft. I mean, you cannot uninstall seats for bigger cargo space, etc. You always need to buy insurance. There's no exception. If this is your only airplane, we will instantly transfer it to your current airport. We will fill fuel tanks to 50% of their capacity. Please refuel it to the same level before ending the rent. Otherwise, we will charge you for missing fuel. But yeah, because with everything else, I think I need some sort of a plane. So 2 passengers exclusive, 1 passenger, so definitely not a ton of money, but you can get some popularity and so forth. Doesn't give you a lot of, let's see, next door, whoops. So that's that, and then local. So I think the thing was like it just mixed them, basically. Yes, there's no planes, so I'd have to rent some sort of a plane. Cargo, I assume, is the same thing. Yeah. Honestly, cargo seems to do better. How do I unlock other planes? Like, why am I only seeing Cessnas and things? Oh, I see. So hold on. The League. Okay, no, this is just... So like right now in the medium category, I see. We're not an airline. Or wait, am I? No, I am an airline. But I'm wondering if because I'm not operating any aircraft. Where pilots from around the world compete to become the best airline in the game. Winners get 1,000 via tokens, and until the end of August, 1 day of premium account and 5 AR points. Alright, so basically this would be my shortest one. It's in this Cub Crafters X Cub. 3 packages. Never flown this plane, so I'm thinking that's a bad idea. Kind of really want to just use the Cessna that I know how to do, so maybe we'll deliver these 473 smartphones in 100 miles. I'm going to take this. Alright, there we go. And we're going to fly this. Alright, for quick jobs, you cannot remove cargo. Alright, so I'm going from And it does say flight 2, so it does kind of keep track of that for us. So that's cool. I don't know that I've seen that on any of the other systems that make it so obvious. Alright, I'm guessing this OP8 is not going to exist. No. Of course not. So, guess we'll see what happens there. Alright, well, let me see if I can get the airport into my plane, at least. I'm thinking I can't. Alright, there is no OP8. So I have to figure out how to get there some other way. It actually does say passed on a parking spot, so I should get 10% better rewards once I shut everything off. Alright, so I'm going to finish the flight. There we go. So Cessna 172. I now have 230. So the other thing I noticed, I'm like, oh, this is cool. I actually was the winner yesterday of yesterday's awards for the Smooth Landing Challenge, and hey, I'm the leader today. So, you know, I'll keep flying a little bit. But you can see the league has recently changed from a monthly to a daily. Each day, a winner is selected for each category and rewarded with 1,000 Avia tokens. And until the end of August, winners also get 1 day of premium account and 5 Air AI points. So in theory, I've got 1,000 Avia tokens coming. So that instead of just having the 200 or whatever, I'll have like 1,200, and those are the things I use to unlock things on the skill tree. So if I can poke away at that, I might actually make some quick progress up the skill tree. That would be really awesome. These are long. So I'm also trying to figure out, alright, these are different job types. But see, like if I get 1,000, like I could do the freelancer, and then other airlines can offer me a contract, which would be awesome, because that would give me some extra things that I don't have access to. So I don't know how long it takes them to do that, but, you know, I've got 50 Avia tokens for that. I have not landed on a small airport. I don't think I'm going to visit the countries, but then here, too, if I finish these tasks, I get 3 premium account days for free, and then, you know, do I get more steps? Like, these are the first steps, but do I get more? That would be cool. So it looks like I have 110 points. I'm in second place, probably because that guy's in first. You know, so I don't know, like, if they flew without... I mean, the thing is, like, if this is all yesterday, how did a person get $36 million in 1 day? I don't know, but... Of course, if they've been doing it for a while. Now, it's good to see that the highest number of crashes, that nobody won that award. But highest number of flights, you know, they've got 3 yesterday. DLH has 1. I'm there with 1. I'm going to have 2 shortly. But I will go ahead and, you know, probably take a look in a bit here. Let me see what we have as other options. Okay, so I just have 3,200. If I go here, so nothing at simple airports. I'm just trying to figure out how I get like more money. I mean, it's a bit of a challenge, but I'm wondering, let's see. Like, what if I do, let me just look at like cargo jobs. Because if I had a plane, yeah, see, this is definitely more worthwhile. So maybe what I want to do is go try to rent a plane. So let's go look at that. I'm just testing things, so let's go for it and see what happens. So we're going to rent this. All right, that was quick enough. I've rented an aircraft, so 489. So that also will complete a thing here. So that will be nice. And now if I go look at my airline and go look at my fleet, I have this. All right, you're renting the aircraft. So you pay 212. You can still purchase every service except seat setup and transformation of the air ambulance. The cost is on you and it's not refundable. You'll need to pay 100-hour inspection participation based on how many hours you flew after you end rent. Oh, okay. Well, that's a good way to do that. I like that. All right, when you rent it, you can buy it. The price of the plane is the same as it was when you signed the rental deal. Okay, the annual inspection. You need to call a special truck. It will cost you. The nearest airport is KBWI. Engine overhaul. Alright, the airport doesn't offer, but I don't know that I need that. Again, I don't have all this money, so I can't do this and I can't do that. And then you can hire a virtual pilot. The aircraft needs to be empty. Okay, the distance between airports cannot exceed the aircraft range. Alright, so my question is, where is this plane? Is it here with me? I think it is. So yes, I'm here by York. Because I think it said, like, if it's my only plane, it'll transfer it to me. Otherwise, it will be there. So the good news is then that I have the plane with me. Alright, so let's look at jobs, and now I can either look at cargo jobs. So let me select my Beechcraft. Alright, so I can go 78 miles, deliver 3 packages for $1,800. Wow, this is cheap. I see, but it's an express delivery, so I have to do it right away. That might not be a bad deal, though. Or, let's see, I can do passenger job. Whoops. And 2 passengers for 67, 1,400. I don't understand this one. Can you not leave before that time? That would be weird. Alright, so I'm thinking the cargo job is the best option. And I'm assuming I can carry it. It's only 381 pounds. So I'm going to take this job. And then, what is this part? Assign to me. Alright. Because I was like, alright, there we go. So now I have all that. And then I can fly this. And so I'm going to whatever KBSP is. Looks like it's near Washington. Alright, and it gives me half the fuel, it said. So total weight 750. No passengers. Oh, okay. So actually I need to load this. Oh, I see. So I'm doing all of that. Alright, so I'm going to load that. Now I have that. No staff. Alright, let me go to here and get myself set. Alright, so I am here. I have passed on everything. So I'm good. Alright, so I need to buy insurance. You can buy additional insurance in case of a fatal air crash. You'll get a renting bond repaid. Purchasing this package automatically buys standard insurance. Additionally, in case you'll be obligated to pay a penalty for not returning. At this airport, it will cost you. Okay. So yeah, I don't think I need to do that. I'm not planning on any kind of crash. So let's start tracking. Oh, I can't, oh great, I can't fly it. It needs the annual inspection. That's what I was worried about. Alright, well then let me see. Accepted jobs. Let me cancel this. Okay, so that's good. So I don't have to pay any fee for canceling it. So I guess I have to do some quick jobs until I can do this, which stinks. It's good to know. Alright, I'm going to continue on now, trying to basically grind my way to the point where I can pay for my annual inspection, which could be ridiculously challenging. I've never flown this Cub Crafters X Cub. It keeps coming up. So I'm going to go ahead. This is short, even though I'm sure it's going to take forever because I'm sure that plane doesn't fly very fast. And I'm sure it's manual, but we're going to fly 86 bags of tea for $300. All right, so I'm going to see if I can make something work. So basically, I had a bunch of issues since I last was recording here. So you may notice a few things. You can kind of ignore this. I've canceled this flight. I got my money back, basically ending the rent. So we were pretty good, but playing around a little bit, I finally found something that has an annual inspection 1 year from now. And, you know, I think it's about the same plane we had. It's just not, maybe the other one was 2017. But I think at this point I can rent this, and then now we're back to 486 whatever. But see, my details here are 1 year from now instead of 5 months ago. Therefore, I think I'll be able to use this. So we are here. So hopefully we won't have any issues. All right, so we'll hit fly. All right, and then this is the thing I have noticed is that it will, you know, do stuff like that. So let's see, buy insurance. Now, it's lazy bee. Why is it thinking that we're, let's see. So if we load that, so, you know, I kind of had messed the whole thing up. So now it does look like we're okay. You know, I ended up basically kind of like restarting the flight. I mean, the problem was I did get to the other airport with the Cub Crafter, and given that it's one of those tail dragger things, basically, and again, we have crash detection on, I ended up like hitting the brakes too hard and the plane flipped on its nose and then claimed it crashed. And then I was just trying to figure out all the stuff of like, how do I restart this and that? In the meantime, I had gotten so frustrated, like, oh goodness, I'm going to be waiting. Oh, it's interesting. Why? Now I'm curious. So let's see. Let's look at our income statement. Because we have to do insurances. Alright, well, we obviously need to make sure we go ahead. But you can see basically I had the parking fee. I returned the rental. And, you know, I hadn't done anything, so it went ahead and said, hey, and then, you know, because it does look like it's the same aircraft, but at least now I think it's going to let me, you know, go ahead. It looks like it is, because otherwise I assume we wouldn't have this info. All right, so let me just make sure. I mean, it said I had everything on. Yeah, cargo is disinfectants. All right, I think I'm okay. So I just need to get the plane kind of ready to... All right, on the ground here in Dover. Okay, so it does think I'm in a parking spot. So that is all good. All right, so everything passed. So if I finish the flight, there we go. So, I mean, I really only have 3, so kind of discovered a little bit of a quirk that, you know, it's telling me it's flight 7, where it obviously kind of is not. Let's look at our income statement. All right, so we have the hourly rental fee. There was no landing fee at Dover, which is nice. I hope I don't have to pay $344 of insurance constantly. I'm thinking that's just like regular insurance, like I've insured the plane for X period of time. Now it is interesting. Oh, I see, next page. So flight 1, flight 2, but then basically my next flight is flight 7. Everything else was lost into the wind. So there you go. So if I stop the rent, I'll need to pay an additional $117.11 against this 100-hour inspection. Seems a lot. But so the one thing I'm trying to figure out is, okay, so this shows the flights on this plane, so that's good. Because, yeah, if the 100-hour inspection is here, oh, I see. At the moment, it would be 1148. You need to pay 100-hour, so yeah, I bet it's so. Okay, so I'm paying 1148 against that. That makes sense, because basically per hour I should be paying what, $16? $163? No, every 10 hours it would be $163. So yeah, so it should be $16.35 per hour. But if I stop the rent at this airport, so I'm wondering if it's because that's my flight time. So basically against the 212 per hour, I've flown 0.7, I guess. Although, see, that's the thing. The 100-hour inspection, I think, is the time the engine is running. So obviously it's running, I'm taxiing, I'm doing those things. But I'm thinking I'm just paying the rent, for literally the flight time. Sadly, I'm the leader in crashes. Okay, so here in the overview, so there you go. It's telling me student pilot. But, like, I don't have any idea what it takes to rank up. Okay, I am going to grab five passengers. Although, hold on. So yes, I'm going to take these 5 passengers to Newark. So we're going to assign that to our Beechcraft. Again, it's just 112 miles, so it shouldn't be too terribly bad. So that will be the next flight I do. So we're going to go ahead and take care of that and just kind of start to understand the flow here and how things work. So I'll see you in a bit. Alright, so I've had all kinds of issues, but I don't think it has anything to do with Aviatife. I'm assuming some problem in Microsoft Flight Simulator. I'm hoping it's not the case. So the Bonanza crashed. The autopilot basically went haywire, and it just starts bouncing up and down like a yo-yo, literally, like you'll be outside the plane, and it's just flying like someone's throwing it around the sky, and you can't do anything with the control. Alright, so we have landed. So we're going to finish the flight. So it's really our 4th one. So if I go to my income statement, alright, so we've got the hourly rental fee. So yeah, it doesn't look like it gave... Oh no, there's the renting bond. Okay, I'm like, didn't give me a renting bond, but no, I guess it did. So yeah, so 0.56 versus 0.7. But as you can see, here the job cancellation policy, where the insurance paid off and so forth. So definitely not terrific. Alright, so it would seem that this is going to be my best option here, $1,400 to move 3 passengers 49 miles. Alright, so I am moving. I have grabbed a small cargo job where I'm going to transport some product about 56 miles. I think it's back to where I've been. It's an Air Force base. Alright, well, remember what I said about no fuel? I fell out of the sky and crashed and destroyed my plane. So, I'm not paying attention too well to what is happening, obviously. So, let's see if I can solve my problem. Alright, so I'm taking 9 units of pesticide. I had to decrease the fuel. So again, I had, it gives me a good amount of fuel, but the problem ends up being I'm struggling to have enough fuel to go very far, and then that's what caused my problem. So if I'm like continuing within it, it looks like it gives me a little bit of a challenge, like it somehow thinks this plane's in Dover. So I need to get that resolved. But anyway, I'll go fly this and hopefully make it, and I'll be back. Okay, I am here. Says we're parked. Engine's still running. Now the engine's not running. Alright, so it did take that, I believe. So yeah, the challenge here is honestly, I think this is too, like, it's too sporadic to understand what's happening. So yeah, I think I'm going to go ahead and stop for this episode. It should be more than enough. We've had so many flights. I've had so many issues. I mean, this has been like a day of flying, like 24 hours of flying, but, you know, probably, hopefully, obviously, less content than that. But so just really not sure that this one would rise up. It looked promising with all the, what appeared like all the choices, but it's very linear. Just not sure that I'm seeing that it rises up to the top of the heap for sure. So it's certainly right now between NeoFly and On Air. You know, this one is just interesting. I mean, it definitely kind of has the nicest presentation, but at the end of the day, it's pretty straightforward, and you know, the payments are similar. And as I said, the challenge becomes here because I just have no idea how to go about, you know, when I would advance and honestly what it would give me. So the real question I have is, you know, like if I go to Quick Jobs, I'm sure I'm still just dealing with things with the Skyhawk and so forth, because I assume that doesn't change until I get another rank at best. And so, you know, it appears it may unlock planes, but I don't know that it does, or if my limitation with planes is simply, you know, go ahead and just afford one. But like this stuff, there's no clear way to fix a little bit, say for example, of the engine or something. Like I don't know, short of just going all the way to the top, you know, where it's going to improve, say, this to 20% of the overall condition. But it's just unclear how I make progress. And so at this point, this really is becoming like a reason to fly app than really anything. From an immersion standpoint right now, it's got to be NeoFly, just because of what they have. And I think the fact is, like, NeoFly has more variety. I think On Air has a decent variation, but, you know, unless I want to do like the fighters and the offshore thing, you know, it's basically passengers, cargo, and then, you know, the sightseeing and the search and rescue. And I will say the search and rescue thing is pretty interesting, the way they do it with the grid. So I did find that interesting. You know, I'll likely be heading back there at some point because my FBO should be finishing up today. So we'll see how that goes. But hopefully you've enjoyed this. If you have, but haven't dropped a like, please consider doing that. And if you are not a subscriber yet, please consider that. I'll see you next time.